This video is a review of the KOWOEE E10 Pro Max electric scooter. I'm going to unbox, assemble, go over the controls and settings, test the acceleration, max speed, brake, suspension, and hill capabilities, and review the e-scooter. The E10 Pro Max has a 1000-watt peak rear hub motor with a max speed of 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers per hour, thumb throttle, 36 volt, 15.6 amp hour battery with a range of up to 20 miles or 32 kilometers, front drum and rear ABS brakes, front and rear suspension, 10-inch pneumatic tires, headlight, taillight, and turn signals. Additional specs can be found in the description section below. Here's the box that it came in. The first thing we're going to do is install the kickstand because the whole thing is tipping over. Here's a bag of screws with an Allen key and a tire valve adapter. And there are 10 of these screws. So we'll take the kickstand, which was in another bag, put it right here, take 2 of our screws, and fasten them in there. Now we can put the kickstand down and it'll stay up by itself. In one of the pieces of foam, there were the screws. There's also a charger and the instruction manual. I'm gonna lock the stem so I can fasten the handlebar. We'll pull this up. I'll push this lever until it clicks. Try pulling it, it's not supposed to come off. We're gonna feed the wire through the tube. Put the handlebar with the brake levers facing forward. There are 6 holes, 2 on the left, 2 in the front, and 2 on the right. We'll take our screws, we'll feed them in, and then fully tighten them. I'll demonstrate the folding mechanism. We'll push this tab upwards, pull the lever forward until this ball is released. We can lower the stem. There's a latch right here that we'll need to put on top of the hook, and then we can carry the scooter. We'll do the reverse. Let's take a look at the charger and the charging port. The charging port is right here. We'll lift this rubber flap, plug the charger in. We'll take the other end and plug it in an outlet. On the brake, there's an LED indicator. It'll be red when it's charging. When it's fully charged, it'll turn green. Here's the back of the charging brick in case you lose your charger. The model is CP4220. The input is 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz at 3 amps. The output is 42 volts at 2 amps. And this is what the plug looks like. Let's take a look at the handlebar, starting from the left. There's 2 LEDs facing the back, and then there's 2 LEDs facing the forward. These are the turn signals. Here's the grip. Here's the turn signal switch for left and right. This is the bell. This is the front brake lever, the display, the hook for folding, power button, the thumb throttle, the grip, and then the right turn signal. There's a sticker with a QR code that says, please use the app to activate the vehicle. For more information, please read the instruction manual. I'm going to show you what it can do without the app, and then I'll show you the app. In order to turn the unit on, we'll press and hold the power button. Right here, we can see the current speed in miles per hour. There's a headlight icon. There's the mode, the Bluetooth icon that's flashing, and then the battery level. If we press the power button once, it changes the mode from S to the walking mode, the D mode, and then back to S. If we press the power button twice, it turns off the headlight. And I noticed that if you go into the walk mode, it always turns the headlight on. If you go to the D mode, the headlight stays off, and same with the S mode. We have to press the power button twice to turn it back on. If we press the power button 3 times, it changes the speed units from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. I'll keep it back in miles per hour. If we press it 4 times, it turns on cruise control. And typically, you need to hold a steady speed for around 7 seconds. And then once you release the throttle, it'll continue holding that speed until you press the brake lever. If we press the power button 5 times, nothing happens. and same thing with 6 times. This is the left turn signal. It flashes here, it flashes here, and it does not flash in the back. This is the right turn signal. It flashes in the front and back of the handlebar. This is the headlight on. The tail light also lights up. This is the brake lever. It starts flashing. And then this is the turn signal. The tail light does not light up. This is the brake lever with the headlight off. Here's my phone. It brings me to a website with the Tuya Ride formal version app. It's updated 5/8/26. If we press download, it brings us to the App Store, and I already have this. I downloaded the app and I logged in. I have the E8 Pro from a previous session, so I need to add this scooter. We'll add device, discovering devices. So it found the E8 Pro Max. It paired. We can see the battery level, it's at 86%. If we tap the settings icon on the top, we can rename the device. Here's the device information. We can share the device, create a group, facts and feedback, add to home screen, device update. No updates are available. We can remove the device. Going back to the main screen, we can change the level from 1, 2, and 3. We can lock the device by pressing and holding the lock button. We see that it says locked. We'll press and hold to unlock it. More functions. There's security. We can go to lost mode. I'm not going to do that. Light control for the headlight. Riding mode. We can set the units from miles or kilometers. We can enable cruise control. We can change the start mode. I want to enable 0 start because I can use the throttle without having to kick off more than 3 miles per hour. Non-zero start, you have to kick off at least 3 miles per hour in order to use the throttle. There's quick function customization. I think this is just changing the main screen. Device information, no data. Battery information, 86%, 0 range. Other, diagnostic, I'm not going to start this. And then it says DP_scooter_fault. If we go to device information, there's no data. Security, we can enable lost mode. Battery level, it's the same thing. Scrolling up, there's no location because I didn't enable it. There's no recent ride data. There's an option for vehicle navigation, vehicle health check, and then shared devices. You can also go to ranking, social, and then me. You can do the basic functions without using the app, but if you use the app, you can see the exact battery percentage. You can enable 0 start, you can lock the device, you can record your trip with the vehicle navigation, you can enable lost mode, you can see the battery health and other information. It's a good feature to have, but you don't need to use it every time you ride the scooter. In order to turn it off, we'll press and hold the power button. I enabled 0 start so I can use the throttle without having to kick off more than 3 miles per hour in the pedestrian walk mode. In the pedestrian walk mode, we're getting 3 miles per hour. In D mode, we're getting 14 miles per hour, 15. In S mode, we're getting 20 miles per hour. And the thing I noticed is that once I turned the unit off, the 0 start did not save. I had to reconnect with the app and re-enable it. Just to show you, 0 start works. If I turn it off and turn it back on, the settings do not appear to be saved. Right now we're going to test the acceleration and max speed in each of the gears, starting with the pedestrian walk mode. It's a bit difficult to see the screen in the sunlight, so I'll just announce the speed. Kicking off.
Using the throttle, we're holding 3 miles per hour. That's the max that we're gonna get. Going to the D mode, we're getting 13, 14, 15 miles per hour. Going to the S mode, 8, 9, 11, 12, 15, 17, 18, 19, and I see 20 miles per hour. 20 miles per hour is the max that we're gonna get. I'm gonna test the brakes by slamming on the brakes. I pressed the brakes before that bike rack. This is probably about 14 feet. For the braking, there's a drum brake in the front, and there's some adjustments that you can make to make it bite sooner with this nut right there. And then the rear, there's an electric ABS system. For the suspension, there's a front shock right here, and then there's 2 dampeners in the rear that are not adjustable. I'm gonna bike around on the sidewalk and on pavement to see how well it handles. And it's pretty smooth so far. Doesn't have any issues going over bumpy roads. This road has pavers and it's quite comfortable. I'm gonna test the scooter on hills. This is a semi-sloped incline, about 10% grade, and we're getting 11 miles per hour, 12 miles. This hill is even steeper. It's probably 20% grade. In S mode, we're getting 9 miles per hour, and it's holding that 9 miles. I saw 10. The next hill is even steeper. It's probably a little over 20% grade. We carried some momentum from the flat intersection, and we're getting 12 miles per hour. It's going down to 11, 10. Still holding 10. And this next hill is a lot steeper. This is probably close to 35 to 40% grade. Let's see if it's able to take it. We're entering the hill with 13 miles per hour. The hill is getting steeper. We're getting 5, 4 miles per hour. It's holding that 4. Now it's going to 3. It's holding 3. And it's able to take it, but it's going very slow. We're still holding 3 miles an hour. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do the entire hill. I think it'll be able to do that 3 miles per hour without any issues. Moving on to the review of the E10 Pro electric scooter. What I like about the scooter is that it has front and rear suspension. There's a front shock right here, and then there's 2 dampeners right here. And when I rode in the city, it didn't have issues tackling the uneven pavement and bumps in the road. I like that the scooter is foldable. It has a 500 watt rear hub motor with a max speed of 20 miles per hour. Going up hills around a 20% grade, it was getting around 11 to 12 miles per hour. Going on really steep hills, like 35 to 40% grade. But the speed dropped down to around 3 to 4 miles per hour, which isn't bad because a lot of scooters would struggle and wouldn't even be able to take those hills. I like that there are turn signals in the front. And then they have drum brakes, so they are more weather sealed than disc brakes. And also the electric ABS brake in the rear. In terms of suggestions, it would have been nice to have seen these turn signals in the rear as well. I know that if you're a skinnier individual, if you turn on the turn signals, people behind you would be able to see it, but if you're a larger individual, people in the back might not be able to see. It's also a bit hard to see the display in the bright sunlight. But other than that, I don't have any issues with the scooter. Another thing to note is that when you enable zero start, meaning you can press the thumb throttle without having to kick off more than 3 miles per hour, when you restart the unit, it does not seem to retain that setting. You have to go through the app and enable it again. It's a minor annoyance. If you guys are in the market for a folding electric scooter with a 500 watt motor that can hit a max speed of 20 miles per hour, has front and rear suspension, you can check out the KOWOEE E10 Pro. A link to the product and the latest pricing is in the description section below. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Feel free to leave questions or comments in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching and take care.